asked me what was this thing on my rifle. So, real quickly, it's a lanyard. I use it to, I'm a sling guy. I like slings. It's just where I am. Sling works real well for me as far as being able to get onto the bird or animal really quickly compared to normal way of most people do it. I personally really like the sling. The sling is comfortable. I'm used to it from being in the military and so forth, but it just, you're used to it, you know what I'm saying? What makes you do something a lot better and faster is if you're used to it. So it works really good for me as far as that goes. And the reason I use a lanyard is because I can wrap it as tight as I want, and I can still get either the distance, because I can only take up so much slack between the fasteners and so forth, you know, as far as that goes. It's comfortable, I'm used to it as far as that goes, and once again, free hands away from the trigger and so forth. But the nice thing is when I need to get to it, it's right there. It's real simple. There's not all this jogging around trying to get, you know, comfortable and, you know, take a shot, because my whole thing is if I'm walking, you know, so forth, and I see something, I want to get right on it. Of course, I usually have my tripod, Primus trigger sticks, the one that goes, you know, up and down, and has a camber to it as far as that goes. Really love this, really do. Now, last time I had really quickly had gone over how I like to load up my tripod, right? And I tend to hold this right. Remember I was complaining about this wiggle here? Well, me being an idiot, didn't really think about it, is I put a lot of tension on this from getting my rifle system in place and then loading this up. Well, I'm putting, like I said, I was putting a lot of pressure on this, and so after a while, it has to give sooner or later. I mean, I don't care what it is. That's a lot of force being put on this. So as you can see, it still has that wobble. Nothing for nothing, it's not really affecting me. So I'm good there as far as that goes. But then again, you know, the reason I like the sling is because I do keep my hands off my rifle a lot. I really do, and it's just because the environment I work in. Would you feel safer if my hands were here or here if you were walking or driving by on the front? Well, of course, you'd rather see me here. The chances of this going off are a lot lower with my hands away from the trigger, you know what I'm saying? So I tend to do this, like I said before, I tend to look through the scope just to check stuff, you know. There's a saying, never hunt through a scope, meaning, you know, don't sit here and look for your object through your scope. It's actually view your object, your quarry, point your scope at it, point your barrel at the object you're planning to shoot, and then find it that way. But don't hunt through a scope going all like this, because one, you look like an amateur. That's the other reason why I have this. This always catches that in case that happens. 99% of the time it's so well balanced I don't have to worry about it, because you know, after a while you know exactly where the balance is. You can even move around and so forth. But I really like this. Like I said, with this lanyard here, it's a nice soft one. It doesn't rub away on the surface. Now this is a custom finish I did. It's not the stock finish whatsoever. I actually went over it with some textured material, which has a lot more grip than the other one. Living here in Arizona, for some reason, you know, I'm out with it, and being black, I shoot at 117 degrees out sometimes, so this gets a pounding. So with this rougher grip, it's better, because when it's with the stock grip, it actually got kind of oily when it got really hot. So and I started seeing it was deteriorating. So I put this finish on there not too long ago. Love it, really cool. So any which way. So the sling, the whole thing about the sling is, it's nice. It's just like the stock. It's universal. You can go back and forth. Of course, I'm right-handed, so I'm on this side. But anybody who uses my weapon system, not many people, they tend to not use the sling because, one, it's not adjusted for them. Two, they're not used to it. They're used to their own way of, you know, hanging their rifle and so forth. And you know, like I said, there's a method to my madness. It's about speed and accuracy. So this gets me right on point to what I'm trying to get across the chute. So it's really fast, and like I said, really easy. And the other option, the other thing I like about it is that if I have to answer my phone, if I have to do something, I'm not sitting here trying to get my gun off the system here of this tripod. When I know I have this here that can help me support that, I can answer my phone, I can do whatever I need to do, and not worry as much. If it does fall, it's never have actually. The first time you ever see me do that falter was just a couple minutes ago. Usually I have it, this cradle right here holds it really well. So, but for the most part, I can talk to the farm hand or the owner of the property or the ranch and go over, whatever he needs me to do or whatever and so forth, and still feel comfortable. They feel comfortable. Actually, they feel more comfortable when it's like this than when it's to my side. I do live in Arizona, and nothing for nothing. There's a lot of migrant workers from Mexico that work here, and this looks more threatening to them than me being like this and my hands are down. And nothing for nothing. I'm a little bit intimidated looking anyways with this. So any which way, it's great for what I need it for. It makes sense for the length I need it for. I don't need it any higher, like I said. I'm a short guy, I'm not a tall fellow whatsoever. So like I said, I can get it right to where I need it to go. Boom, I'm there. Boom, I'm there. And then I can still do whatever I need to do. I can get my stuff out of my pack here, check out, I can look both hands and do what I need to do and make sure that this is okay. Don't get me wrong, it's a little bit different than other people using their own way of harnesses and so forth. But I like the Sling version compared to the rest of them personally, as far as that goes. Now, I haven't put a sling yet. On the Boss. I have not put a sling yet on the Boss. I was checking to make sure safety's on. And there was no pellet in it, but still. I haven't checked this, I haven't put a sling on the Boss yet. This is the actual finish from the factory, and you can see the difference in look. They both have almost the same type of finish from the factory, except for the one I just put on here has a lot more grainy feel. I like this one, but I know come literally August or whatever, I'm going to be really hating it. So I'm going to switch that out here in a bit and take it down to their shop and get some texture like this one on there. It won't be as slippery too when it gets really hot out. I haven't put one on here yet. It sounds hollow to me. Decide if I want to put a sling on that or not, as far as that goes, because I'm used to this. Like I said, I'm used to the sling, and hopefully I can put it on there. If not, I'll put it on the bottom, but it's gonna be a little bit off kilter. I like the top portion of as far as putting that sling on there. Now, really quickly. Last time I showed you the Boss, right before Christmas, this new scope, I wanted to show you the actual scope lens protector actually it screws into the actual scope, so you have to have a special key for this model scope in order to take those off, and it's on both sides. I'm not one for liking these at all. I never have, but they do well as far as protecting your investment. Don't get me wrong. This one I don't have it on, but I tend to cover it up with a neoprene lens cover or scope cover anyways. Okay, now I wanted to show you the bottle a little bit closer with that carbon fiber vinyl. It's a real thick vinyl, so it really protects this. I haven't shot this very much, but on this one you can see I've used a lot, and it's been used a lot, and it's faded a little bit, which is fine by me. Blends in a little bit better, but it works really, really well to protect your investment for one. And like I said, I'm pretty rough on my equipment. That really helps me out when I'm putting it against something. I can not worry about me scratching up the bottle or anything like that. So any which way, the sling is the way I like to shoot. It's practical. It makes a lot of sense for what I do. fast where I need to shoot as far as that goes. I don't do a lot of stadium shooting whatsoever because most of the time I'm on really flat ground. Be safe and see you downrange.